Alright, so last thing I got to do this morning here is try and give you some similar things for your bonus questions. I wish more of you guys would attempt this stuff. You know, some of y'all to grow, you just have to become excellent. Just straight up excellent. That's what you got to become. Some of y'all to grow just got to get half a test right. So, grow, kids. So here's the similar question for a bonus. I did root of x plus root 15 is root 30. And it's just isolate to start off with. So the root of x is the root of 30 minus the root of 15. And you can't say that that's the root of 15. It doesn't work that way, okay? The root of 30, I don't know where it is. Root of 15, I don't know where it is. But while they're both radicals, they don't have the same number inside, so they're not like terms. But anyways, you square this piece, so you square that piece. And to square the root of 30 minus the root of 15, you've got to write that thing twice. So root 30 minus root 15, and she gets written twice. And then you FOIL, or double distributive property. I really need to stop saying FOIL. There's dangers in teaching FOIL. Kids don't realize that the distributive property applies to other things. So the root 30 times root 30 is 30, minus 30 roots of 15, minus another 30 roots of 15, and then plus 15. So I see 30 and 15 makes a 45, and then I take away 60 roots of 15, and that's my answer. All right, that's what she looks like. Root 15 doesn't simplify. Maybe I should have picked a different number that did, but anyways, that's where it's at. Next up is a logarithm problem. By the time you take this test, you probably have not, this quiz, you won't have seen logarithms yet. But they're on your form quiz. The rules are. On your form quiz, you've got log of ABC, if I remember right. And it's log A plus log B plus log C. And if you read this thing from right to left, it tells you that when you see logarithms with the same exact bases being added together, you condense through multiplication. So this guy becomes log of x times x plus 6. Now, sorry, it has a base of 2. Also on your form quizzes is this idea: a logarithm base b argument a equal to some letter we call e because it just spells bay. It's the easiest thing you can do. Has an equivalent inverse of the base to the exponent equal to a. Bia. Anyways, here's the base, here's my argument, and here's my exponent. We just spell the word BAE and we identify all the pieces. So this thing becomes x times x plus 6. Sorry, I did that backwards. Not necessarily backwards, I did it left to right. 2 to the 4th equals x times x plus 6. All right, 2 to the 4th is a 16, if I'm remembering right. And when I distribute, I get x squared plus 6x. This is a quadratic with 3 pieces. Shift everything to one direction, set equal to 0, and attempt to factor. So 0 would be equal to x plus 8 times x minus 2. So x is negative 8 or x is 2. Now, there's one other thing about logarithms. It's a domain concept. If you have a logarithm, and I don't know, let's say there's a heart in that logarithm. Okay, whatever's in there. Apparently I'm feeling kind of mushy this morning. The heart has to be more than 0. So, if I take that negative 8 and I plug it in right there, or right there, I get a situation where I have a negative. So this little dude, x equals negative 8, is extraneous. And this is real. The only answer is 2. You know what I just realized? I actually did the actual problem. I didn't do the similar one. Yeah, oh well. Oops. Hope you get that one right. From the equation of a circle with a center at -1, 2, which goes to the point 3, 2. So let me make sure I do the similar example here. The center is at back 1 up 4. This is a geometry standard, not an algebra 2. And it passes through the point 5, 4. The reason I'm graphing is because it's going to let me see what the radius is. That's the radius. Those are perfectly level points. 5, 4, -1, 4. The radius is 5. Easy peasy. Your form for a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to the radius squared. I don't know why I said that was 5. That's actually 6. 6. So I put a 6 there for r. The center was at -1, 4. Change sign as I enter parentheses, something that I have just been trying to beat to death with y'all. And that would be the equation for the similar dude. Next up is the ellipse. It took me probably about 5 minutes to make an equation for this one, for a similar one, so some time was spent on it. That is STD form for an ellipse. All right, that's my STD form. Now, in order to write the equation of ellipse giving a general form, you have to know how to complete the square. That's what you have to know how to do. It's a little bit different than when I taught it back in section 4, because you've got to do it twice and you've got to do a high degree of manipulation. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull an 8 from x squared minus 16, and I'm going to have x squared minus 2x. I'm going to leave some space. I'm going to pull a 4 from y squared plus 8y, and I'm going to leave some space. I'm going to move that 12 to the other side. Now I'm going to look at these pieces individually. X squared minus 2x. I'm going to take half of b, so I'm going to take half of a -2, which is -1. I'm going to square that -1 and get 1. And I'm going to add it here. Now what's different is I didn't add 1 to the left-hand side. I added 8. So if I add 8 to the left, I add 8 to the right. And I have a slight mistake with this problem. I just realized it. That needs to be an 11. Because if you look at the actual form for an ellipse, we have to end up equaling a 1. So I made a slight mistake. There's the fix. Now I'm going to focus on this piece, y squared plus 2y. Half of b, so half of 2 is 1. I square that 1, I get 1, and I add it to both sides. But when I add it here, I actually add 4. All right, awesome sauce. This will factor as x minus 1 all squared. I don't know if you remember that or not. As soon as you take half, you know how it factors. This will factor as y plus 1 all squared. And the right-hand side will actually add up to 1 like it's supposed to. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide through by 8, although you don't actually need to do this step to get this thing answered. And there's another mistake I made. Well, this is wrong. Apparently I didn't think this problem through, but whatever. This is what you need. That's what you need. So you need to do all the work to get to that, because if you can do the work and get to that, then your center is at 1, -1. It wasn't a good example to show you the true equation of ellipse because somewhere along the lines I messed up. I guess I should have ended up with an 8 over here, but I didn't. So, but whatever. That's how you figure out the center. That equation you have up there will work like it should. Somebody spent more time on it than I did. 22, if the first